Hi, I'm Balaji Chipada and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In continuation of our Python series for data science, in this video, we are going to learn about how you can do sorting on your data frames based upon your indexes and based upon your column values as well. And we will also see how you can sort your data frame based upon multiple columns together. And at the end, we are also going to learn about how you can rearrange your columns order inside your data frame. This video length might be a little bit short because I want to make Pandas series in multiple chunks. So in future, if you have any queries, you can just quickly refer to the corresponding video itself. So without any delay, let's get started with the code. As usual, let's start with importing our packages. Import pandas as pd and import numpy as np, and then we will be reading our dataset called iris.csv. And in the previous video I have explained everything in detail about this dataset, so I'm not going to do that again in this video. Now we have a function called df.sortIndex, and you are saying in place equal to true. So what this will do is, if you notice, this is my index column inside my dataset, and if you notice, all the values are already sorted. It is of 0 1 2, it is of ascending order. And if I do sort again on this one, you are not going to visualize the changes, but I will help you understand that as well. So we have this function called df.sortIndex, and we have learned about in place equal to true, right? What in place equal to true does is, it is going to modify your original data frame df. Before going into this function, let's go into the documentation page. So it is the df.sortIndex documentation page, and it takes multiple keyword arguments. We are not going to cover everything, but we are going to cover a couple of them in this video, and you can go through this document for more details. And if I execute this df.sortIndex and if I print, you are not going to notice any changes. If I do this, see, I have the same index again, 0 1 2 3 up until 149, and it is same as before because it is already in the sorting manner. I can do axis equal to 0. Axis equal to 0 means we are doing a sort based upon rows. Even here you are not going to notice any of the differences because your index is already sorted. It is of ascending order, right? Now what if I want to sort my index based upon descending order? So in that scenario, we have a keyword parameter called ascending, and we can keep it as false. And if I execute this, now I get to see the data set in which the index is reversed. That means all the records in my data set got reversed because of the index values. Hopefully you got the essence of it, and I will also take some small examples to help you visualize all of these things in a bit. Now let's change the index to sepal width, because whatever the index that we have so far is already sorted, and that is why you are not noticing any differences. If you see this one, these are of not sorted values, right? And if I keep this as an index, and if I do sorting on top of this column, you are going to notice a lot of changes and how it will work. Now let's set this using set index function, and my df1 is basically having an index column called sepal width, and it is of having only 5 columns. And notice these are not in the standard sorted order. Now I would say df1.sortIndex, and if I execute this, now all of the values inside my sepal with cm index column, these are sorted from smallest to the largest value. If you notice here, the starting value is 3.5, but here the starting value is 2.0, and all the records are getting updated based upon the index value. Hopefully you got the understanding of how index works. And this is my data frame just like as below before, and I can do gf.sortIndex, and all of these are same. Now to understand the sort index values in a very easy manner, I have created a small data frame, and it is of having only 3 columns, which is of b, a and c. And if I execute this, I get this data frame. And if I do sort index axis equal to 1, now notice here I am specifying axis equal to 1. By default, the axis value is equal to 0. If you see the parameter axis, the value 0 identifies the rows and the 1 identifies the columns, and the default value is 0. And if you haven't specified your axis value, it is going to take it as 0. Here I'm specifying the axis as 1. So what happens in this scenario is, when axis equal to 1, that means we are sorting based upon columns. And how does this sort happens? This will sort the column names itself. It is not going to sort the values inside the columns. If you see here, we have B, A and C. If I consider the alphabetical sorting order, it should be something like A, B, and C. And when I say sort index and axis equal to 1, I got the first column as A, and second column as B, and third column as C. And if you notice the values, A is having 1, B is having 2, and C is having 4. It hasn't modified the values inside the columns, but it is going to shift the whole column based upon the sorting order, and it is going to do it on top of the column names itself. Hopefully you understand what is axis equal to 0 and axis equal to 1. So far we have dealt with the data frames in which there is only one column as an axis, right? Now I'm going to create a data frame having a multi-index value. Okay, and let's execute this, and I will explain what is happening in this scenario. So this is my data set. Okay, and I have only one column which is of A, and I have two different records or two different columns, and these are considered as multi-index. Okay, and how do you create a multi-index data frame? By calling something called as multi-index. From tuple, I created a couple of tuples a1, b2, and a2, b1, and inside this I am passing it as a list, and I am calling pd.dataframe, and I'm giving my column and the values, and the index I'm going to give the index that I have created, and then I can print my df multi-index. So how do you understand this data? So when I say index of A and index of 1 combinedly, then the value is 1. And when I say index A and 2, the value is 3 for the column A. So you have to read the dataset in a combined fashion. Now in this scenario, I can do df dot sort index, but if you see, there are two levels of indexes, right? So this is your level 0 and this is your level 1. The first record is level 0, second record is level 1. And when I say level 0, it is going to sort the column values inside this index. So initially we have AB and AB, right? Now when I say level 0, it is going to get A and B, and these values will shuffle accordingly, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So when I do like this, it is going to do this. Now if I execute this, I get the output A 1 and 2 the corresponding values, and B 1 and 2 the corresponding values. And when I say level is equal to 1, it is going to sort based upon the second index column. And if I execute this, I get something like this. All the ones are together and all the twos are together. Initially we have 1 2 and 2 1. Now it is sorted based upon the level 1 index value. Load the data frame again, df equal to p.read csv, and I'm going to do a df.transpose. You might have learned in the previous videos, right? What does transpose do? Transpose will shift your columns to rows and rows to columns. Now I have 6 rows and 150 columns. If I do df.shape, and if I see, it is 150 records and 6 columns. But when I did df.transpose, it is of 6 records and 150 columns. All the columns of df become the rows in df.transpose, and all the rows becomes columns. So this is like your index inside your df, but in df.transpose, these are all different columns. I can do df.transpose on top of this data frame using df sort index axis equal to 0, that means the records, and I'm saying ascending equal to false, and then I'm doing a transpose again. But let's not do transpose now, and let's print. Now let's talk about the output of this scenario. This is important. So what we are saying is sort index axis equal to 0, ascending equal to false. That means we are talking about descending, so big to small. And whatever the columns we have are id, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, right? So how do sorting happens in case of alphabets or alphabetical characters? Now let's take the alphabets A, B, C, D. Now let's talk about species column, and the first letter is S, right? And then we have petal length, which is of P, and we have another S, and we have another as sepal, and we have another p, and we have another id column which is of I. And out of all of these elements or alphabets, s is the biggest one, right? So it is going to be on the top for the letters which are starting with S. And because there are three letters or words which are starting with S, it needs to decide which should come first, right? And it will check for the second letter. We have P again. So after S, we have P, and then here we have E, and then here we have E again. Okay. Now, because P is bigger than E, species is the one which is going to be on the top. And then the next it is going to decide for these two. And after E, we have P here, we have P here, and we have A here, A here, A here, A here. And where that the difference happens is W and L. And W is bigger than L in the series of alphabets, it is going to be the second one. So by doing these combinations, for the characters or words, it is going to decide for string types which is going to be on top when you're doing a sort algorithm. Let's do something like this. Now I have read my dataset iris.csv and I'm creating the sepal width as an index. So I have the sepal width centimeter as an index and I'm doing a sort index. So these are all sorted. Now I can reset my index as well. So if I execute this, it is going to create another record inside our dataset called index. Okay, and the initial index value is going to be accumulated inside your columns. So if you see here, I have 6 columns, and before when I did set index, it is going to be 5 columns, right? I will show you the output as well. So here if you see, initially I have 5 columns, and when I did reset of index, it added one more column of index, and it moved the initial index value to your columns. So far we have learned about how you can sort your data frame based upon the records or rows. Now you can do sorting based upon the column values as well. So this is my data frame, and if I say df.sort values, here instead of index I have to say sort values, and here I have to specify my column name, and I can specify ascending equal to true or false, and I'm going to sort based upon sepal length. So it is going to be increasing order. If you see, all the values are increasing and the index values has been changed accordingly. And I can even do sorting based on multiple columns as well, and I will help you understand how this will work with a short example. To explain a multi-column sort, I'm going to create a shorter version of our data set like this, and this is my data set. Okay, and now I'm doing sort values and I'm saying sort by both columns. So how it will work is, first it will check for the first column which is of petal length, and if you see here, this is my petal length column, and I am saying ascending equal to true. That means we have to do from smaller to large. Okay, so out of these values, which is the smallest value, 1.3, and according to 1.3, petal width is 0.3, we have it here. Again I have 1.4, but I have two 1.4 values inside my data set. So which one should come on top? If that is where the second column will come into picture, if there is a duplicate values in the first column. So if you look at the value at here 0.2 and here at 0.3, and 0.2 is smaller than 0.3, it is going to keep that value because we are doing ascending equal to true. And then the next value is 1.4 and it is having 0.3, and the next value is 1.5, and because there is only one 1.5, it is going to keep the same value. So when you give multiple columns inside your sort values, it is going to start from the first column, and if there is ambiguity found in the first column, it is going to look at the second column, and it is going to look at the third column. So likewise it is going to happen in multi-column sort. And then I can do sort values ascending equal to true or false. I can specify first column to be true. That means first column I want it to be ascending order, and second column I want it to be descending order. So even like this I can do this, and I can do a sorting on the categorical variables as well, setosa like this. And hopefully you understood. If you have any queries so far in this video, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'm going to reply to each and every one of you, that is for sure. And the next topic, which is very simple as well, which is called rearranging of columns. So let's say I have this data frame and the columns are of order B and A and C. Now I want to rearrange the column order. So how can I do it? So you take all the columns that you have and you keep it in the list that you want. So initially I have B and A and C. I am creating a new list A, B and C, and I'm going to pass it inside my data frame df of the order that we created. And if I execute this, I get the order as A, B, C, and my data frame is going to be same because we haven't used in place equal to true. But you can even achieve the same thing using reindex as well. And I can execute this, and I'm saying axis equal to 1, that means it's columns. And I can even do df of sorted df dot columns. What does df dot columns it give you? It will give you the all the columns which is B and A and C. I'm doing a sort on top of it, so it will become A and B and C. And if I execute this, now the data will become ABC, and here I'm doing reverse equal to 2, that is why it is CBA. Hopefully you understand that. And I can even achieve this using log functions and ilog functions as well, and it is very easy and straightforward to understand. And that's all for this video, guys. We have learned a lot of different sorting techniques based upon indexes, based upon columns, based upon other values as well. And then we have also learned about how you can rearrange your column values inside your data frame. Hopefully you learned something new from this video, and if you are liking what you are watching, a sub to the channel would be much appreciated. And click that bell icon to get notified daily, and we'll meet in the next video. Bye bye.